The Jenco Foundation serves to honor those individuals who have given of their time and of themselves to others in their Appalachian, Ohio communities. Founded in 2001 by journalist Terry Anderson, who was imprisoned in Lebanon while serving as an Associated Press correspondent, to honor the life and service of one of his fellow prisoners and dear friends.
He had a special friend when he was held hostage, Dr. Lawrence Jenco, who was a father in the Catholic Church and who was a man who had devoted his life in serving people who had less. And he and Terry became very good friends, and it was through Father Jenco's stamina and foresight that Terry was able to survive those 7 years of being a hostage. Then when Terry was released and Martin Jenco had already been released, Father Jenco passed away. And so in order to honor him, he thought he would set up a foundation to recognize special people in Southeast Ohio and also through Appalachia at that point, who had done extraordinary things for their communities. We've honored some really great people who have taken care of the homeless, taken care of people with mental health issues, taken care of people who don't know where their next meal is going to come from.
This year, the Jenco Foundation has selected 5 recipients of the award. Each honoree has given tirelessly of themselves to create a better life for those in their communities. Committed volunteers in Belpre, Ohio, and other communities in Washington County, Joan and Wayne Fontaine are master gardeners, have inspired youth through 4-H, and have spent many hours in the Belpre Area Ministries food pantry and clothing store. They've brought their gardening talents as well as their dedication to serving others together by starting the Green Hope Garden to serve local food pantries and to serve as a place of peace and reflection.
So many people nowadays haven't had the experience of growing their own food. They don't know where it comes from. They don't know how to prepare the ground and grow the plants for the vegetables for their needs. So part of our incentive, our activity, our desires was to show people that it can be done, that you can have simple, small areas of ground that you can grow things which are good to eat, good vegetables. We talked to the parish council at our church, St. Ambrose Catholic Church here in the Little Hocking area. We suggested putting the gardens on the church property, and they were very agreeable and very happy, and we could do this. So we put in the 4 gardens, and we got people involved in bringing in the soil and the fertilizers and putting in the plants and growing the vegetables, which were then harvested and donated to the food bank.
I think because I have been given so much that it's my turn to pass on some of the good things that I've given.
As the mayor of Amesville, Ohio, Gary Gooseman serves his community every day, but it's for the ways he has reached beyond the traditional definition of mayor that he has been nominated for a Jenco Award. Among many new initiatives he started in his community, Gary and his wife created the Amesville Community Resources for Entrepreneurs, or ACRE, in an effort to provide an incubator for those wishing to create new small businesses in the Amesville community.
The old elementary school had been abandoned for many years, 10 years, 11 years. And finally, Federal Hocking put it up for auction. The auctioneer started out $70,000 and $60,000, $50,000, and kept going down, and finally he said, for love of Pete, just somebody give me a bid. And I gave a bid, and that was the only bid. So you know, nobody else bid, and there I was, and 5 minutes later, I knew I was the owner of a 10,000 square foot abandoned elementary school. Then I had to get serious about, well, what am I going to do? And Amesville, needs revenue, and we need jobs. We need economic development. And so I thought really like a micro business incubator would be the best thing. And so my wife and I went in there and cleaned it up, made some improvements, patched windows, and then opened it up for rental. And within 6 months, it was all full.
Described as humble volunteers of Claremont County, George and Ruth Ann Rooks give back to their community with a special interest in its most rural areas and its senior citizens. The Rooks have committed over 20 years of service to Claremont Senior Services, where they shop for seniors, deliver Meals on Wheels, and assist with the annual Touching Hearts Gala auction.
They have a fundraiser in the fall, and I make a blackberry jam cake, which is always the highlight, I guess, of the event. And one year it brought $3,000. This year it was $1,610.
And I have made a lot of wood items. We made lighthouses that sold for $500 a piece, and we sold 2 of them, so that was a donation too. So we have donated probably to the senior services over the years close to $10,000 or better money-wise.
And then we delivered Meals on Wheels for 7 years.
Yeah.
And then we have been shoppers for seniors for several years now.
We're going to be seniors here one of these days. We're a firm believer that the Lord wants us to help people and do for them. We're always doing something for somebody. And we don't do this for any honor. It's because we want to do it and help people.
Ginger Gagne is known in her Athens and Meigs County community for playing an integral part in designing and creating the Fur Peace Ranch over 17 years ago. What many in the community don't know is her devotion to helping others in need through the cause. Ginger started the cause from the ground up to help community members with basic needs like groceries, utility bills, and blankets.
So my son and I were sitting with this couple, and this woman whispered to me that she needed some pillows. And I go, "You need pillows?" And she said, "I don't have any pillows, and my neck hurts." And she was an older woman. I said, "I have some extra pillows. Next Tuesday, I'm going to bring you some pillows." And the next Tuesday, I brought her a big old bag of pillows. And when I was giving him to her, another guy saw me, and he goes, "I need a blanket." And I go, "I'll find you a blanket." And I just felt, like I've got plenty of blankets, so I'll bring you a blanket. So then I went to my mother's house, and she crochets and stuff, so she gave me blankets. She goes, "I have all these scarves and mittens and hats that I don't have anyone to give it to, so let me give you these, see if you can hand them out." So I just started sending out emails to people I knew, and I was starting to get donations, and it was so small, it grew so fast, and people came together. It's not me, I'm really just a conduit. People would deliver to me, and I would make sure it would get to the person in need. So been some really cool things that have come out of this. I've met some great people. It's been a great experience.
Paul Strauss has been a model of sound land use practices as he has taught conservation and sustainable living for decades. As an herbalist, Paul has rehabilitated strip mined land and created the United Plant Savers Botanical Sanctuary to preserve endangered native medicinal plants. Through his work, Paul educates children and the community on the importance of Appalachian Ohio's land and environment so that our region will be protected for generations.
I didn't have the energy to manage any more land, so all the students that came here, friends of mine from all over, I said, there's lots of land around here for sale. Maybe you should look at it. Well, within 5 years, there's a community of 2,500 to 3,000 acres that's now surrounded me of younger people with the same green intentions that I have. So I decided, I'm going to put a longer trail system in, and it's going to connect sort of with this community. And that's exactly what I did. We labeled a lot of the plants, and we used slate, old slate to label it, which you can replace and re-put the names on. And then I put what I call floragraphs on a lot of the most important species, so you as not an herbalist or a botanist can go over there without someone who's trained or a professional and just go through the woods, read stories about plants, see the names of these amazing plants. So that's why it's called the Talking Forest. And it also united a community. That's why that's there. That's why I did it. To protect those areas, what better thing can an herbalist do? Be able to teach and learn at the same time. I mean, I've had a good time doing this stuff, and what a perfect life to, walk into. Because I walked into it.
What we try to do is identify those people who go day to day at their calling and who don't necessarily want to be recognized or don't expect to be recognized for their contributions to society. And we try to spotlight them and say, here is some recognition for what you've done. We think you're special people, and we're proud of the work you've done, and we want to help in your work to lift the communities and society up with the kind of work that you're doing, and you're doing it on your own, and we appreciate that.